So you've been meaning to give Notion a try, you have been maybe like duplicating templates that people share, but you haven't really taken the time or had the time to figure out the basics of how Notion works. And I totally relate. It's hard and intimidating to learn a new tool, especially when you feel like everyone is already using it and you feel like, a bit behind and like it's a huge project to tackle. I feel you. And in this video, I want to give you a little introduction to Notion, and I'm going to try to keep it simple, try to keep it, step by step, what it is, what you can do, how it works, and yeah, I'll try to keep it pretty short and not too intimidating. So let's start with what is Notion actually. I would say, and this is my definition, of course, there are multiple definitions out there. I would say Notion is a flexible workspace where you can create and store documents, notes, manage tasks and projects, and you can also create tables or more complicated tables, which are called databases. And these like complicated tables can have different views, like the Kanban view that you probably already know from other tools like Asana and Trello. It's basically a table, but a different view. And we'll see that in a second. And also many refer to Notion as their all-in-one place to organize work and knowledge and a kind of a second brain. So if you may hear that a lot, Notion is my second brain. I mean, for me, I would also say Notion is my second brain because all of my tasks, all of my projects, all of my, clients live in Notion. And if without it, I wouldn't know what's happening, basically. So I'm definitely relying on Notion a lot. How does Notion work? Basically, Notion is built up with of blocks. And blocks can be different things. A block can be even a page. So this page here, this is a page, a Notion page. And I can add another page to this page by doing this. /page. And I select page, I click it, a new page opens up, and this page is on the page that I showed you. So I basically added a page to a page, and you can continue like this for ages and ages and ages. You can have pages on pages and pages if you want. And this is why I say page is a block, because I clicked plus or slash and I selected a page block, right? Page block. But there are other options as well, like there is a database block. So if you go here /database, you will see there are different options like database inline, database full page, and also different views of databases directly if you want to use that. But I suggest starting always with either inline database or full page database, because that's and then you can customize whatever you want and add views that you like. Basically, databases are structured tables or cool tables that can do more than a simple table can. They're a bit like an Excel sheet, an Excel table, but cooler. And I'll show you in a bit why they're cooler. So for example, here is an inline database. So I selected /inline database, and then I gave it a name like tasks. And now I can also add our columns, which are also called properties. So properties are columns inside databases, like status column or date column or select column, whatever you may need in a table. Like you can add it here, numbers. So for example, here you can add property, and then you can select a checkbox for, if you want to archive something, a row in a table. Or if you're going to have a status for not started, in progress, done. You can add a due date, which is, very helpful for tasks. And there you have it, your tasks list, basically. Your tasks list is here. Let's remove the checkbox for now or hide it. And then we have status, due date, and task name. What I can also do with this really cool table or database, complex table, is I can create different views to see this data, but in a different way. So I can see these tasks, but I can see them. Let's add more. We have 3 tasks, and I want to see them in a Kanban board, let's say, right? Because this task is in progress and this task is done. So what I would do is I would click here, add a new view, and select board. And as you can see here, we have a board view of our tasks. So whenever I'm working on this task, I can move it to in progress. And then in our table, which is, it's all the same data, so it's all connected, right? If I remove this, it will be removed from here. If I change the status here, it will be changed here, right? So it's just a different way to see your data, which is really cool because you can have the same data, but see it, in a calendar view or in a board view, timeline view. There are different views. You can see how many there are here: table, board, gallery, list, chart, timeline, feed, map, calendar, and even forms. So you can create forms as well based on just this table. You can create different forms and views and everything. Here's also a calendar view. You can see it looks like this. And if I add due dates, then we will see the pages or the entries in the calendar. So these are databases, and you can play around with them. They're not that intimidating. You see, it's like you can add your tasks, you can add your status column, you can add your due date column, and you have a database. And then you can see it in the board view. So that is just the basics of databases. Of course, there are a bit more complex features you can add on to it. You can connect tables together, etc. But this is like the first step, and you can just play around with it and see how you like it. Some helpful shortcuts to get you going is Command P. So Command P lets you search through your whole workspace in Notion, which is very helpful if you've lost something. Then Command-Shift-L lets you change to dark mode, Command-Shift-L or Control-Shift-L. And again, I already showed you, but the slash command gives you access to this selector where you can choose what you want to do, which block you want to add. Like maybe you want to add a toggle list, or you want to add a heading, or you want to add a page, or you want to add a quote, or you want to add a video embed or a bookmark or anything like that. You can choose it from here, so you can see your options, and it's kind of nice to explore what is available in the beginning. So that is what you can do to get started in Notion, and I suggest you start small. So really start, create a page, simple page, add some bullet points. Maybe after a while, instead of a bullet point list of tasks, you want to have a table or a database. You can try that and see how it goes. Add on as you go, and depending on what you need. Don't overthink it, and don't duplicate the most complex template you find and don't know how to use, because that will not help you that much. You just need to start small with something you would actually use, right? So start small and then add on and learn as you go how to build something. And if you need support, you can always write me. Happy to help. Enjoy!